All right, we're going to start with the same way every single day, guys. It could be something super simple. I'm thankful for the pillow. I'm thankful for the sunshine. I'm thankful for the kids, whatever. What are we thankful for?
I'm thankful I got
Okay,
enough
can you
sleep.
hear me? It looks like I'm frozen.
Ebony, you can start.
I said I'm thankful that I got enough sleep. That almost never happens. So I feel energized and ready for the day.
Isn't that interesting? When we get enough sleep, we feel energized. How about that?
You know, Bill, me too. I had so good sleep. I cannot believe that.
Okay. I
Long
had kind of
time
crappy
back.
sleep, to be honest, but the day before yesterday, I had fantastic sleep. So I can tell you for sure, sleep makes a difference. Who else wants to comment? How did that happen anyway? Did you go to bed earlier? Did you stop looking at your screen at a certain time? Have you been able to identify what gives you good sleep and what gives you crappy sleep?
You know,
Yeah,
I did a
that earlier.
walk.
All right, sorry. Now everyone's talking at once. Who wants to go first? I think I heard Ebony.
I went to bed earlier. I made it I just said, you know what? I stopped looking at my phone about 30 minutes before I was going to sleep. And then I cut the TV off, like, you know what? You do the same stuff to yourself every night. And I just decided to turn the TV off, get away from my phone, and close my eyes. And it actually worked.
Awesome. All right, I got a challenge for you. I want you to do that again tonight. See how it feels.
Okay,
Fair?
I can do that.
That's not too hard, is it?
No.
All right, Kathy, were you going to say something?
Oh, I was just going to talk about the 2 pop buys I did yesterday.
Yeah, tell us about that.
I was invited in one home for her so she could say, "Look at my kitchen," which she recently had painted, and she's been waffling back and forth about selling. And
Okay.
anyway, so I said, "Well, why did you do that?" She said, "Because David wants to sell it finally." And she said, "I really want to stay here and build a pool." And David came in 2 minutes later and said, "Yeah, I want to sell it." So I said, "Y'all need to fight it out, not in front of me." But it, it was that I had a nice visit with them. I was probably there for about 10 minutes. And then I dropped some off at another house and they weren't there. But they're toying with the idea of selling also. So,
Okay.
but I got a text her and said, I left it on your front porch. Luke, their dog. I said, Luke said he was hoping y'all would be home soon. But I mean, they were surprised and delighted. And anyway, I'm hoping I've already spoken with her. I did a listing presentation appointment with her about 2 weeks ago. So but last week, a charity pickup came and picked up stuff in our neighborhood. Yeah. And I was helping the guy load stuff on the truck. And he said, "Yeah, your neighbor up at 908 has a lot of stuff." So that told me, he said, "I came down here." It told me she's cleaning it out. So.
Well, you know what I would do, at least with that first person, is I would send them a home that's about the same size as what they currently have, unless they've told you specifically it's too big or too small, with a pool.
Oh, well, this was something. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Go back to that first person and say, "Hey, they love the house, but one of them wants a pool and one of them doesn't want the house anymore." So do we know what the husband wants in his next property?
Yes.
What?
He wants more. He wants 2 acres. He wants a house on 2 acres.
Let's find him a house on 2 acres with a pool and everyone will be happy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then you get a listing and a big buyer.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a commercial. It's like, if you want to sell, I did something this morning that I know I shouldn't have done. They got this thing on Facebook it's like that arch thing that you lay on and straightens your back or whatever. And I knew when I clicked on this thing, I was going to get like 20 different of their competitors bothering me about buying their product. But that's what it's all about. Like if you're trying to influence somebody to consider purchasing or consider selling, send them pictures of homes that they like more than the one they're living in. You know what I mean? Okay, let's do one or two more. Who else had a good day yesterday that want to share? Shauna keeps writing offers and contracts. Tell us what's keeping you busy.
Well, yeah, keep writing them because one became a backup offer. One, we're still in negotiations for 2 weeks now because this guy thinks he's doing me a favor by doing me a favor by dropping the price from 50,000 an acre to 47.5. He went from 50,000 to 48 to 57.5, but we're standing firm at 40,000. We also walked the property, met the neighbors, know that he's kind of a shyster. We know what he actually bought it at. We've done our due diligence. And he's like, well, I'll do you a favor and I'll give you, instead of the 5 acres, 4.2 5 acres. And then you're at your 200,000 price point. I'm like, I know how to do math. You lessen the acreage. That's not what he wants. I said, and if we go back to 5 acres, it's still over what he wants to buy. So he's still nudging me. He still reaches out the listing agent once a week. Yeah. So that's good. And that's what I want to do. But meanwhile, I'm still looking at other properties for him. This one we were in another offer, but we became the backup offer. So I found him 2 other homes and he's making the decision today. So I just had the form printed out and ready just for him to sign so I could just shoot it off. Like, I'm not going to do it last minute. So if I'm running around with someone else, I can send over the DocuSign straight to him and have him sign it with the decision. So I'm pretty sure I know which house he's going to choose. So that's my next call once I get off the phone is, which one did you choose? And then I'll shoot him over the contract.
Right. I love that you're pre-writing the offers.
Oh, heck
and you
yeah.
know you've got a buyer and you know roughly what they might ask for. You know what type of financing they're going to end up with, most likely if it's conventional or FHA or whatever. You can go ahead and pre-write the offer, and then you just have to stick in the address and the price and, you know, any special circumstances with that home. It saves you so much time. You don't really feel the stress.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right. Congratulations. Great work. Okay. I want to touch for a second on the session yesterday from the Basic Skills Camp that Joanne did. Talk to me about what you heard and what you learned.
Well, I learned that calling people every day for 6 days is not annoying. It's more of being very sufficient and making sure that you are there. You're kind of showing your client that this is the way that you're going to aggressively either buy or, you know, help them buy or help them sell. So I got out of my head with that, which was a good thing because I didn't know. I thought after like you called them 2 times and they didn't call you back, maybe 3, they're not interested. So don't badger them. So that was a good thing. One of the things that I learned.
All right, great. And by the way, it's not just for the first 6 days. I mean, literally there are people that I've been calling for like 10 years. And if they know anything about me, they know I'm organized and I'm consistent. And when it comes time to find a partner to help them sell something or buy something, what 2 qualities do you think are really important to them? Consistency and organization. Okay. What's the worst that they could tell me? Bill, seriously, I married a realtor, lay off. Okay, cool. You come out of the database. But until then, you won't hear from me. Who else? What else did people hear?
That your friends, just because they're your friends doesn't mean they're your sphere of influence or that they're going to give you business. And that's one of my old neighbors, who's a very good friend of mine, is also a very good friend of Jenny Vereen's. And she, I had been, after her mother died, Danielle and I started talking about, you know, what she needed to do to get her house sold. And then she didn't even have the courtesy of telling me that she was listening with Jenny. My son came home and opened the door, walked in and said, "What the heck is Miss Jenny's sign doing in the Carroll's yard?" And I went, "What?" Yeah. So I called her and she said, Kathy, you know, y'all are both very good friends of mine. I just made a decision. And I said, okay, that's fine. And I just wanted to talk to you because I knew it was going to be uncomfortable at some point, and I wanted to go ahead and get it out of the way.
Wow.
So your friends aren't your sphere.
Okay, so that is one of my favorite takeaways from Joanne's session. I wrote down about 5 or 6 scripts that I'm going to go over with you in just a second. That's one of my favorite takeaways, though. So I want to make sure we all really let that sink in. So when we, just pull a list of all of our Facebook friends or like people we used to, do business with in some of their industry, and we throw them in our database, then we're like, oh, they're our friends. We'll get the business from them. I don't know. I don't think it's that easy. You got to be a person of influence. They need to understand what kind of expert you are in real estate. And like Kathy suggested, I mean, it's almost a near certainty that they have multiple agents that they're friendly with. So how is it that you're going to become the one they reach out to, right? And asking that question, like Joanne said yesterday, if somebody asked you for help with real estate, do you even have somebody that you reach out to? I love the way she throws in that, do you even have someone, rather than saying, do you have someone? I don't know why I like that better, but I think I like that better. Do you even have somebody? It's just more curious.
I like that too.
It's a little less salesy. It's a little bit more curious. Do you even have somebody? It's almost like, I mean, you probably don't have anyone, do you? And if so, like, I want to be that person. Do you even have anyone that you would reach out to? Right? Well, here, just save me as realtor, right? Kathy realtor, Joanne realtor, Bill realtor. I don't care if you know my last name. I don't care if you can spell it right. Just call me. We'll figure that stuff out later. You see what I'm saying? So the big takeaway here is, how can we take the people that are in our database that we are perhaps a little bit overconfident that they might be a big supporter of our business and maybe use us next time they have a real estate need? How can we deepen that relationship to absolutely make certain that that happens? Who has some ideas?
You just got to love on them more.
Yep.
With value, whether it's a pot pie with cookies or a wine or bourbon or ice cream sundae stuff for the first day of school after their kids get home from school.
Ooh, that's good. That's a great idea.
That's what I like to do that. So
no one wants to show their face today. What's everyone hiding for? All right, I got one more just thing that popped into my head that I want to express to you guys. You don't want to make this like overly. You don't want to do this in such an obvious way, but don't forget to get both the husband and the spouse, or the two spouses, if it's a married couple, the two spouses' contact information. I got a call yesterday from somebody who I put in a rental like 7 or 8 years ago. I happened to deal exclusively with him. I never even met his wife. They ended up moving out of that place. They moved to a place in Kennesaw. Then they moved to California. Now they're getting divorced. Right? So I don't have the information of his wife, and that's my loss. Thank God I have his information. He liked me enough to call me after all these years. Right?
Bill, if you put him in Fast People search, it'll tell you who he was married to.
Will it tell me her number?
Then you can, it will give you her number too. You have to scroll You have to scroll way down.
Hey, there's Kathy, I understand your marriage is falling apart. You need a new place to live?
Yep.
Just kidding.
Yes, I do.
Oh, okay.
For everyone who doesn't know, Bill, that was tongue in cheek.
That was very tongue in cheek. I hope I didn't offend anybody. That was very tongue in cheek. I'm sorry.
I didn't understand what you're talking about. I don't understand.
Sorry, that was inappropriate. Please forgive me. Okay. Who else learned something from Joanne's class?
Good morning, Bill. Good morning, everyone. It's
Good morning.
Lawanda. I think I had like 2 pages worth of stuff, but some of the stuff that I looked at was or took notes. Tap into your top 5 sources where leads can come from, and develop those. Nurture those. I also took away tap into your past top clients for referrals. Again, it's nurturing those relationships and fostering those relationships. There is a door cracked, and you need to find that cracked door for leads and business, and then make it happen.
What does a cracked door mean to you, Lawanda? What does that mean?
Opportunity.
How do you identify it?
I don't know.
Are you listening for something in particular? Are you watching for something in particular? How can you tell there's an opening, in your opinion?
In my opinion, I would think listening for something that's gonna, pique my interest, or pique that, say, oh, okay, there's a need there. I can assist and help in that need.
Okay, I'm going to encourage everyone to take the phrase need very broadly.
Okay.
Need does not mean I need a new home.
Mm-hmm.
Need means I do not have a relationship that I would benefit from. I do not have a piece of information that I would benefit from. I do not have a vendor that I could benefit from, right? I don't have a real estate agent that I could benefit from. So what Lawanda is saying, and I think this is what you're saying, is the quote opportunity or the need can be very, very broad. We don't just help people when they want to buy or sell something. We're a people connector, right? We have access to many, many vendors. We have many, we have attorneys and lenders and roofers and contractors and other business owners and all these things that we can share those relationships with others and bring value. Is that the way you heard it as well?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Tell us more.
What else? Oh, and then of course I looked at the 6 steps to 6 figures, and turn calls, convert to opportunities, have your appointments and sign them, show property, get executed contract, maintain all the way through closing. And I also heard, when she talked about the database, she had an example of 36, closed for the year. It talked about how many people you have to have in your database that you're working. And that was 360 in your database to be able to work on a consistent basis.
Did that number surprise you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Was it higher than you thought or lower than you thought?
For me, I thought it was lower than I thought.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Remember the MREA, the original MREA said for every 12 people in your database, you would get 2 pieces of business, right? Mm-hmm. 1 referral and 1 actual person in your database that was transacting. The new research says 1 out of every 10. So rather than 2 out of every 12, 1 out of every 10. However, remember, these are people of influence, right? That you're deepening the relationship with. This isn't just somebody that you imported into your database and then you're hoping that they support your business, right? I just loved how, I know Joanne. Joanne is a hell of a saleswoman. I mean, she is really, really good. Okay. But I love how sometimes she takes something that is pretty direct and she has a way of kind of making it softening it a little bit, right? It's would you be offended if I came out and told you what I think about the home and offer some suggestions, see if I can help you? Right? It's not let me see if it would work for my buyer, or let me come in and give you some pseudo listing presentation. It's, hey, I'm a realtor. I work in the area all the time. Do you mind if I stop by and I'll share a couple things I'm sure will help you at selling the home yourself. And they're like, whoa, this is a real estate agent that isn't trying to shove paperwork in my face. Oh my gosh, this is such a relief. Do you see what I'm saying? They're not expecting it. Now, when you get there, you'll ask all the same questions, but you're not going to say, okay, now it's time for you to sit down and I'm going to make a presentation to you. And of course not. But you're asking the questions about, hey, how's the experience going so far? What are you enjoying about being a realtor? Right? What's kind of frustrating you about being a real estate agent? What are you learning? How are you marketing this property? Where are you going to move to? How soon do you have to be there? Why is that important to you? Why is that important to you? Right? How many offers have you received? How many showings have you had? How many of those have been real estate agents? You see what I'm saying? So the couple of the big takeaways there, number one, you got to know the scripts, right? You got to know those things backward and forward. Okay, you got to have it basically memorized so you can throw those questions out in the course of a natural conversation. But would you be offended if I came out and gave you a couple pointers? I mean, that's just so casual, yet it's like, it's right there. What do you guys hear when I say that?
She's coming from contribution.
That's right.
And she's not being direct about wanting to list the house. She's just, hey, let me see what I can do to help you. So, and when you come from contribution, you're going to get business. So
Here you go.
probably gets a lot. What did she say? 10? She's got a 10-to-1 ratio on FSBOs. Isn't that what she said?
Yeah, we have slightly different definitions of like a few of the phrases. To be honest, it was a little hard for me to follow. But yeah, I think it was actually even better than that. But she's just, I mean, she's strong when she needs to be strong. She's soft when she needs to be soft. And she's professional, obviously, every bit of the way through. And she knows the market and the scripts like probably better than anyone in town. And that's why she's had the massive success she's had. Right? Okay. Did anyone else catch another phrase or another script or question that from Joanne's presentation that they really liked? How about, when was the last time you thought about moving? Right? If somebody asked, like, I'm more than likely in my forever house, okay? More than likely. If somebody said that to me and said, when was the last time you thought about moving? It presupposes that that's a normal thought for people, regardless of whether they're in their forever house or not. So I might say, well, I'm probably going to be living in this home forever, yet, you know, my next home or my next buy would be an investment property, or my next buy would be a lake house or something, right? Hey there. So it may not be the opportunity you're looking for, may not be with the house they actually reside in. That's just a softer way of asking, hey, do you have any future real estate goals that I should be aware of? All right, look at all these kids. We're teaching the kids early. Coaching is good, accountability is good, business development is good, right? All right. Anyone have any additional thoughts? And I'll wrap up with one idea. Okay, I got this book in the mail. This is a guy named Jeff Glover. He's out of Michigan. He's an OP and mega agent, and he's big in training. He's got his own training company and all this kind of stuff. And there's a page here that says the 3 keys to success in 2020. I just want to read these to you. It's the development of time, skills, and exposure. Okay, so time. If you control your morning, you will control the day. Consistent start times will bring you consistent income, just as inconsistent activities will bring inconsistent results. Accountability is key. Who is holding you accountable to your goals? The difference between the best and the rest is how they manage their time, especially in the morning. Okay. Skills. Nothing else matters if you don't have the ability to win the listing or the buyer as a skilled salesperson. Know your presentations and script everything they ask and script to everything they ask you. Agents get hired based on how comfortable and confident the client is with you and your abilities. What level of commitment do you have to improving your sales skills? Okay. That's presentations, objection handlers, scripts, market knowledge. etc. Okay, and finally, exposure. What people and ideas are you exposing yourself to? Are you raising your skills, your mindset, and your leadership? If you are the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. Okay, remember that there's going to become a time. It is my goal for there to be a time in each and every one of your lives where you wake up one day after having done all the things that we've talked about, and you wake up and you say, I am slammed. And the quality of my life that I've been seeking to grow and develop is threatened currently. And I got one choice, which is who am I going to hire and how am I going to grow so that I can continue to impact the number of people that I want to impact, provide opportunities for those that I want to provide opportunities for, and continue to increase my income while not sacrificing my quality of life. And at that very moment, that's when you're going to look up and say, I need help. I need to bring somebody else into my world so that we can grow together. And the only way you're going to attract somebody into the world is to be a good leader, right? And to be somebody that people want to spend time with and can learn from, and somebody that's encouraging, and somebody that believes in you, and all these things. So as we're developing all our skills, don't forget the person that you need to spend the most time on is yourself, right? Any thoughts on that? Those three things.
That's good stuff. Is that a book or is that a
Yeah,
magazine?
very good.
This is actually a magazine of some sort. He puts it out a couple times a year. Let me see if I can.
I know Heather Comer has been to a Glover U training.
Yeah. He came in December, I think, and did like a training for us about listings.
Yeah.
If you go to Glover U, GLOVER U as in university.com, I believe that's his main site.
Okay.
And there's probably all kinds of opportunities for you to download free stuff or register. He's got a bunch of events and virtual events. He's also got his newsletter and this magazine. You can sign up for all that stuff.
What was that
It's
article called, Bill?
That thing that I just read was just one of the pages. This is like a 49-page magazine that he sends out. It's called the Glover Gazette. Thanks, Kathy. Okay, everybody. Do not forget today we got our team meeting. Aubrey has basically taken a lot of the notes from all the teachers and coaches and special guests and presenters and all that stuff for the past like 3 or 4 months, and it's kind of compiled it all, and he's going to be sharing a lot of that today. So that's from 11 to 12:30, and then our growth and emerging mastermind is today from 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock. Okay. Don't forget, we're always trying to improve this group here. So if you have any feedback, if you have any questions, if you have some ideas on how to make it more enjoyable or more learning or whatever it is that you want to see more of, just reach out to me and we'll talk it through. Okay. Any other questions?
Nope.
Okay, and don't forget tomorrow from 12:30 to 1:30, Sarah Sloan's going to be doing her live listing presentation. Sarah has a team at the office. She, I believe, is the number 2 agent at the office right now behind Joanne, and she is just she's just rocked it. I mean, the last couple of years for her she's just catapulted. Going to be giving her listing presentation. That's from 12:30 to 1:30 tomorrow, and it's going to be followed by dive into command opportunities with Robin Taylor and Leanza Bacala. So that's from 1:30 to 3:30 tomorrow.
Hey, Bill, I have a quick question about the Minute with Melba. Did you see that? About photographs? Okay, she had a post about using photographs, that you're not supposed to use anything unless you've paid for it, or I guess it's free.
Oh, yeah, I can speak to that. I was the lucky recipient of a number of legal notices about that.
So my question is, I use photographs from Elena Corbett's FMLS listing in my flyer promoting my open house. Is that okay?
I would just, when you get permission to do the open house,
Get permission. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Then
Okay.
I would say that the presupposition is that you are able to use her photos for marketing purposes.
Okay, because she paid for those photos and she gave me permission to do the open house. I can use her photos off of FMLS.
Yes.
I am not an attorney, but I would fight for that. Yes.
Yes, you can. Mike, can you hear me?
Yes.
I had a land listing with Brooke, and I had to work with the HOA board, and I wanted the picture of something. I forget what was on there. And he's like, oh, it's all over the internet. Just grab it from there. I can't. He actually has to give me permission. It has to be from them directly. I can't just grab it from the internet and post it with our pictures to sell the land. That's what she's also referring to.
Another example where I've seen us get into an issue with this is, and there's one photographer that's a local photographer, and he's right. That's his work product, and people should not be taking that without paying for it or with express permission. Okay, but he's notorious for chasing agents down. And the one picture that it seems to be the one that I've gotten notice of this like 3 or 4 times, and the one picture that they keep bringing up is this picture of a waterfall in Roswell. Okay, and you can't just go on the internet and find random pictures of Roswell or Alpharetta or wherever and essentially pretend it's yours. Okay, they've got to be taken by you. Okay, and Roswell, by the way, requires a photography permit if you're going to photograph their landmarks and stuff for professional use. I'm not 100% sure if you'd consider that professional use, to be honest. But please make sure you take the photograph yourself. That's just a good rule of thumb. Take the photograph yourself, or obviously hire somebody to do it. Make sense? Okay, y'all have an awesome day. For those, just a quick reminder, today is the last day of our reporting period. So please, when you're done generating leads today, go ahead and put in your actuals for this last week. That would be the 8th through the 14th, and then go to the following week's tab and put in your goals, okay? Y'all keep up the good work. Thank you.